Hello everyone and welcome back to Ravenhollow. Last time we took down a bunch of unfortunate doggies, so I needed to save and quit before we could actually finalize them carrying it back. So I'm just making sure right now that they actually grab or, get back to where they left off just beforehand. So just like that. And I think that should overall do the trick. I forgot if that was all of them. Oh, look at that. We actually have another deer back there. So whoever is currently sleeping, sure, you're convalescing. Okay, you get a free pass. What about you, William? William, go ahead and grab that deer. Because as you can see, the polecat is already on its way. Okay, it changed its mind. Good. I like that. Anyways, I think overall the rest looks pretty decent. One thing that we could potentially, now that I see the little goats here, female goat, male goat. Oh, yes. William, you won't get any sleep tonight. Let me quickly go ahead and knock down some trees. It's 27 logs. How much does a wall actually cost? 5. So that's not too bad. There's also another dog over here. Osmond, go ahead and grab this one. All right, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then we also still need a wooden door, which is another 15. So that's 40 logs that we would need. And we have 54. Excellent. William, quickly go ahead and construct this. Because most importantly, if we can get the goats to be kind of blocked in, we don't need to walk wherever in order to get this done. Oh, no. Also, Osmond, where are you going? I told you to construct this wooden thing. Bummer. Alright, anyways. I'll leave this in just in case the goats come back, ever. Not entirely sure if they will, but that is overall okay. Alright, so what else do we need to actually focus on? Well, we still need them to kind of wrap this part up here, and they're definitely gonna work on that. Wounds need tending. Yes, William is, treating him from the level below. I guess that's fair enough. And looks like we actually haven't moved all the weapon racks over. So I'm gonna add the last one. Settlers are unhappy. Why are you unhappy, Alan? Lacking entertainment, desperate for booze. Okay. Now that tells me we probably also need to start thinking about actually getting some booze on the go. The big question is, do we have enough berries to actually start that? Actually, with the blackthorn bushes here, we might be okay. William, you can also just go to bed. You know that, right? Anyways, good. Alan is also actually finally making some armor for us, which is awesome. Should also go ahead and make sure we have a place to actually put this armor. So let me just copy a stockpile, and we're just gonna make this relatively big. Actually, I shouldn't have copied it. Just make it apparel, clothing. Nope, actually that's not the right version. We need warfare, armor, can actually go then over here. And in there, we're just making sure that warfare is unselected. It is now. Good. So this can kind of keep moving a bit forward. All right. I think I'm just quickly checking. Actually, I should make this a little bit more systematic. Let's go to overview, resources, not food, animals, and then You are on the default stockpile. You are not. So let's pick you up with the highest priority. And then we also pick up the hare and the wolf. Instead of actually just waiting, why don't we go ahead and have people just carry it? All right, so wolf is taken care of. The deer. Okay, somebody was apparently carrying that and just dropped it, because I guess that's what you do. Abel, you can get that. And then not region, not... Goodness. All right, and then we also still need someone to pick up that hare, and that will be Björn. All right. That should give us, again, a good amount of food in our storage area, which will be kind of nice to have. Free steel ingots. Interesting. Anyways. With all of that, things are, I think, pretty stabilized, or at least stabilizing. Now, I do also know now that we don't have enough space to keep all of our food stored. So let me copy the storage space and then add this in here wherever there is any kind of flooring, so it doesn't actually go bad. Making sure, yep, Björn is still getting the hare, and Osmond has gotten, I'm assuming, the wolf. So we'll be okay. We'll be all right. All right. William is still sleeping. I think, dude, it's time for you to stop sleeping and get down here to keep mining out some other areas so we can actually build more things. Because this part here is supposed to become our food storage space. Now that I look at it, that is actually kind of small. Maybe we actually need to increase that over here. All right. So, if we leave a level of 2 empty here, we can, kind of similar to what we've done on the other side, mine away another layer in the back. And then we're gonna go in here and just extend it to that place. All right. Make sure everything is selected. That should be selected. Here we go. And then I guess technically let's remove that back layer here. Yeah, I think that is a better space for us to work with. And I'm sending William over to this side, to build this stuff. Let's also make sure that in jobs, Alan, who is currently our constructing person, I really want him to help out with the mining whenever he is not constructing, because we need more material. All right. We do have a person showing up. Culinary skill, nice. Tailoring is also pretty good. Oh, botany is great. I mean, they're not great in terms of numbers, but they love it, so that is good. And I think that means we're gonna welcome Eric into our midst. Okay, with Eric showing up, a couple of things that we need to do. First of all, we need another bed. So let's copy this over here. Björn, you can construct the bed for Eric. Eric, you hopefully are actually eating something. Actually, here, go ahead. Consume the cooked meat. And then we still have enough beds once this is done. Eric is relatively good at melee, so we should consider already giving him a spear. Actually, is he the best melee fighter that we have? No, that's Björn, probably. Osmond, yeah, you're not that good at melee, but overall not too bad. Let's see. I guess technically William could get the crossbow. But I think it would be nice to get more people with shields equipped. And if we want... sometimes this game just jumps around what it focuses on. All right, so if we want to have more people with shields equipped, we need to give them some smaller melee weapons. And that means we actually need to unlock, well, if I go on to unlocking, not blacksmithing, but wooden weaponry. I think that will be a good start. Even though they're not the greatest, although we could potentially unlock the blacksmithing and actually get a proper sword on the go. However, you do need limestone bricks, and we only have 33. So that ain't happening in time. So let's unlock wooden weaponry. Here we go. And we're going to immediately put a wooden workbench just in the basement here, because ultimately, why not? And then as well as a boya table. That's actually perfectly laid out in here. So awesome. And then, yeah, oh, right, we haven't unlocked the other stuff yet. All right, but with this, I think we're in an okay situation. Abel, what are you actually getting for resources? You're getting dirt. Okay, I appreciate that, but I'd rather you focus on building this wooden workbench. Now, I know you just... did you just drop? Yeah, you did just drop it here. All right, let's go on haul. And once you are closer, that's when I will tell you to actually create that wooden workbench. Trying to be a little bit more optimized with this, and I think this is close enough. Go ahead and do that. And then we can already also go in and select the dead trees to be cut down to get a few more logs in. Because, yeah, ultimately we will need that. All right, Eric is coalescing. Bjorn is done with coalescing. Eric will definitely be our cook, which means, Osmond, you are removed from cooking duties, which is kind of nice. And Bjorn, what is your main thing? Carpentry? Or harvesting, like botany? We do have a ton of them now that like botany, at least. Yeah, I think Bjorn will be another botanist. I'm gonna remove this further away for Eric, so he can focus on tailoring. You don't need to. Alan is a better tailor. And then, yeah, I think that overall looks good. All right, now for the wooden workbench, William is our top carpentry person. Bjorn is the second. Yeah, he should actually be starting to make some wooden weaponry. Just gonna ask him to make 2 of the cludges. They aren't great, but I guess what else are we gonna do? Wow, and this light armor takes forever to make. But I think we'll be all right. Food reserves are low. Why is that? We do have 6 people now, so let's put in 18 meals. And Eric, whenever you are done, I guess I could have you briefly cook. It's the middle of the night. Go ahead and sleep it off, mate. Okay. Besides that, carrots are still doing all right. You guys are going to seed, so are you, I'm pretty sure. That's pretty neat. Wooden workbench is also in. So yeah, I think things are coming along. Now I've given Eric the spear. Bjorn needs a shield. One of the shields was in here. I'm assuming it just moved over in this direction. Don't quite know. But it does tell me we have 2 shields available. And technically we have 3 people that would want to equip shields. So maybe William will actually get the crossbow. Let's have a look at all the others. Yeah, you should definitely get a shield made. I'm gonna give you this one. And William can then equip the crossbow. We do have still a warbow, but I think that's also okay. And you know what, Osmond, you should also equip a shield. Bjorn, why aren't you equipping that? There we go. All right, 3 melee fighters, 3 ranged fighters. So I think overall that will be a decent defensive situation that we can muster. Now I don't quite know if we'll be able to take on 10 enemies with 6 people. It'll be rough, especially considering they're still making the very first armor. The gambeson is almost ready to decompose, not great. Would be nice to put the research table somewhere else as well. And down here, I will actually pause this from being done so we can focus on this room. William can focus on this room wherever he goes. Where are you going? No. I know I've set this up, but we have other priorities made. Okay. Oh look, a fish spawned in our pond. Not that we need fish right now, but it's kind of nice to have the more locally sourced food supply. All right. First armor is done. Eric is actually chopping down the meat, and I will actually now just go ahead and set this on forever, considering we can actually smoke that meat and then make it more shelf stable. And that should ultimately, well, hopefully, give us also all the material in here to make more stuff. Eric is now smoking that meat. Okay. Bit more, I guess, why not? Once this is on the go, he can focus again on, and he does, perfect. So that is going pretty well. Let's have a look if we could actually buy our way out of this, because 10 people, still a little bit rough, in my opinion. All right, William is our speechcraft expert. Wait, where's the negotiator? Why can't I click on him? Would he be... Am I able to find... Huh. Alright, let's look for him the old-fashioned way, and I'm probably gonna miss him. Oh no, there he is. Alright, William, time to chat. Eric, you can probably... Are you actually... Oh, you're prepping food. Mate, hero. That is perfect. Good. Alright. Alan was tailoring. Is tailoring. I'm hoping that means he is doing the armor. Looks like it. So that's good. Alright. Let's see what they want. 200 coins and we have 1,000. Yeah, that's not even a question then. With that many coins in stock, we're absolutely gonna just pay them off and keep Eric in our midst. Here you go. Circle of Avalon, +1 alignment. I appreciate that. Right, the knight accepted with dignity and honor. It seems to have more to learn before I'm worthy of this price. She left with her... Alright. Welcome to the club, Eric. And we still have a good amount of coins actually available. Awesome. Now, that is good. They are finished with, or he is finished with cooking here. We can still make more of the armor. Wait, didn't you make an armor already? What happened to that one? Don't tell me you took it back down. Alright, let's pause the dismantling for now. Just in case. I would love for our people to actually have their equipment first before we, deconstruct a ton more stuff. We do also have now the wooden cudgels, which means, Osmond, you can actually equip one already. Get the sturdy one, because you can. And then everyone has at least weapons equipped, which, again, kind of nice to have. All right. And look at that, we're making more and more iron. I like it. We're also finally adding more farmland down here, which I am excited about. Because it is high time that, stuff down here is actually happening. Okay. And our tower is also, not quite done, but getting there, I guess. William is working down here. So, yeah. Freaking jump. Alright. I think overall, we're doing pretty well. Didn't quite expect to be able to easily buy out Eric. But, you know what? Welcome to the tribe. Alright. So, things are still moving forward. We did unlock stuff that I wasn't actually planning on unlocking, but I think it's also time to unlock the fermenting, because it would be good to get some alcohol on the go, because it will take a while for the alcohol to finish the fermentation. And the question would be, where are we actually putting the fermentation station? Ooh, that's a rough call. We don't have a lot of space at the moment. I guess we could place it in here. Iron ingots are coming along. What are we actually storing here? Materials, raw materials, all the raw materials. And we have none of those. Okay. Probably shouldn't be overthinking this too much. Now for the walls, I think we'll actually build them outwards. Mostly. No, completely. Because then we can still utilize some of the area in here to get a little bit more space for other things. For example, a room specifically designed for fermenting ingredients. And yes, I'm making this relatively big because the first fermentation could actually happen in this room. No, actually, it wouldn't be realistic to have a massive fermentation room. So we're just going to do that. Add the door in front, of course. And then also a rooftop. Slanted, as this wall will, will ultimately rise higher. Right, and of course we need the wooden beam in there. Here we go. So, as they are creating all of this, we also need some flooring in here. Wicker flooring, I think, is plenty fine. And then we can put in our fermentation station just in the corner. Actually, why not just so you walk straight into it? And then we're setting a default stockpile which will not be set to everything, just fermenting ingredients. Everything can actually stay in here. Perfect. And now Abel is getting resources for constructing. He is building this up, okay. Which means our tower is almost done, and that I would really like to see. All right. He is grabbing more stuff. What is William doing down here? Let's see. What we can already do is actually just set up where all the walls are going to be. And then we're going to go ahead and already set up, the first wooden beam. And, you know, the rest we can kind of figure out as things come along. And of course, he starts building the stuff in the back now. What are you doing, Alan? Where are you going? I guess nowhere. Okay. And a merchant has arrived. Very cool. It is the end of the day, though. Oh, he has a chicken. And it's a female chicken. So we could technically get some eggs on the go for our settlers, which would be another food source income, or food source, not income. And I think that would actually be kind of nice to have. I'm not going to buy it until it's actually in our enclosure, because otherwise I'm pretty sure one of the polecats is going to grab it. And, you know, we have to deal then with that. All right, friendly visit, that's fair enough. Still waiting until everybody has slept, or at least slept enough. And one thing that we can also look out for is actually break limestones or limestone bricks. Because if we get enough, we might be able to put down a blacksmith, and then we actually get some weapons on the go, which would be pretty awesome. All right, William, go ahead and barter right away. Can ask that already. Bandit camp, I don't think we're gonna go after them. I'll check it out in a second though, just to be sure. Let's sort this. So we could buy the chicken. Without a male chicken, it's kind of a bit iffy. Alright, we do have all the trees that we could possibly need. We don't need any additional seeds from you. So do we not need anything from this guy? I mean, one thing we can do, technically, is actually buy all the tree seedlings and plant them outside of our enclosure. That makes a ton of sense to me. Alright, and that would need 22, we could also buy some meat, but 12 gold. And we do have 1,000, but no. Our settlers will be okay, just waiting. Alright. Selling a bunch of our herbs. Do you have any coin? You do not. 18 herbs for all of that. Yeah, we'll absolutely do that. The chicken is in the kitchen. Didn't expect me to say that ever, but fair. And then we're gonna go ahead and put down finally some of the food trees that we have. So we have apple trees. Let's see. Putting a row down over here. Are you connected? You are connected. Good. Then we'll add the next selection of trees in here. 4 of them. I guess that's fine. Do need to put them, unfortunately, on regular soil. Let's put still 8 down. Or 9, at least. And we do have walnuts. Placing you here. And a few more over there. And then we have our last tree, the damsons. Let's put a few down there. And actually just a few back here. All right. Not only will this provide us with additional food, and that will be very useful, it will also provide us with some wood whenever they kind of like die off, which will also be quite good for us in terms of material supply. All right. We can also add a couple more of the wooden beams in here, one there. So things are coming along, actually. All right, points of interest available. That's something I wanted. Yeah, no. With 6 people, we're not gonna take on 15 minimum enemies. That would be insane. Oh, we have our first light armor. It is flimsy. Excellent. But, you know, it's something. It's something. And as our settlers level up, we'll, you know, get better stuff anyways. All right, maximum yield in 24 days. It is still spring, so I think that might be fall that we're actually harvesting this, which kind of a good time. Okay. Eric is... What is Eric actually doing? Getting resources for construction. Do you have nothing better to do than constructing? Let's see. You don't need to tailor anything, I guess. Maybe I'd just have you haul then. Because that could be better than you trying to construct. Because we do have Abel who can do construction work. All right. Yeah. I think that looks a little bit better. Did we harvest all of these? Did they get eaten? Huh. Anyways. Things are still kind of coming along. Slowly, but, you know, steady. Might be worthwhile finding some more trees to cut down. Or actually harvesting some of the hay over here. Why would you harvest the stuff that's not fully grown? I wish there was a selection tool. So I can just pick the ripe phase in here rather than the ripening phase. Very similar to what you can actually do with the gardening. Anyways. We could also consider... Yeah, I was just going to say making a little bit more money. But you know what? Our tower is done. And I think that's a good time to stop the episode. So thank you all for watching. And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.